good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to the midweek edition of The Conversation here on Lagos Television. I am Abimbola Bello.
Good morning, everyone. I am Adebimpe Omotayo.
Yes, sometimes expect to see the unexpected during live shows. That is why it is a live show, right? Let's begin the program this morning by taking our news points for today. Our first news points this morning is on alleged terror financing. Malami faces long detention as DSS intensifies investigation. And the story is former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, SAN, might spend a longer time in the custody of the Department of State Services. Multiple security sources reported that Malami faces prolonged detention as the DSS is already working to obtain a court order to keep him in custody until the investigations are concluded. Malami's latest ordeal began on Monday when DSS operatives took him into custody shortly after he perfected his bail and was released from the Kuje Correctional Center in Abuja. His arrest came barely minutes after he stepped out of the facility where he had been detained since early December over allegations brought against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Security sources indicate that the DSS is seeking a court order to prolong his detention, citing the sensitive and complex nature of the investigations, which are expected to take months. The former AGF had initially been arrested by the EFCC following allegations that he conspired with his wife Asabe and their son to conceal proceeds of unlawful activities valued at about 8.7 billion naira. According to the anti-graft agency, the alleged offenses involves the use of multiple corporate entities, bank accounts, and high-value real estate transactions in Abuja and other parts of the country. The trio arraigned on December 29, 2025 before a federal high court in Abuja on 16 counts bordering on money laundering and conspiracy. They all pleaded not guilty to the charges. And of course, they were granted bail in the sum of 500 million naira each with stringent bail conditions. I'm quickly going to flip to, however, Justice Emeka Nwita of the Federal High Court in Abuja on January 7, okay, already mentioned that. Well, the thrust of this story is that it looks like Abubakar Malami is still going to be in custody for we don't know how long, but now the DSS says it's going to take several months for investigations to be concluded, and the latest allegations are bordering on financial, what is it called? Terror, yes, financing terror activities. Yeah. And according to the DSS, there are papers, there are so many things, so they're able to build a case, against him. That's what literally they're saying. But of course, investigations are still ongoing, and they'd like to approach the court to keep him in custody. Meaning that Abubakar Malami is in for a long one with law enforcement agencies this time around.
Alleged terror financing is a big allegation, right. And I don't know how he's going to get out of this. But so the bail he got was for
another
charges, fraud charges.
Yes.
So this one
is a new one entirely.
But okay,
it hasn't even been taken to court.
So that means his wife and son are some.
Yes, they are out on bail.
Yeah, they're out on bail.
They were not joined in this particular, the new charge.
Okay, so
from the DSS.
Okay.
But of course, in the first charges, from the EFCC, yes, 3 of them were, accomplices, and they were granted bail of 150 because 500 million each.
That's money.
So
that's over $1 billion.
Oh, yeah, 1.5 billion for the 3 of them. And they cannot travel out of the country with other stringent bail conditions. But so those 2 could be out on bail now because again, I think they perfected their bail conditions.
Their bail conditions, okay.
But immediately he was about leaving, the DSS were waiting, and they took him into custody again. So they are now they now want to obtain a court injunction to keep him in custody.
Can you get a bail for this one too?
With terror financing, I don't know if it's a bailable offense.
I
don't think. I don't know. I really do not know. But let's see how this will pan out. But most definitely, Abubakar Malami is on a long thing as we speak.
1.5 billion to bail.
Is it your money?
1.5 billion naira used for bail. Abibola.
Do you know? I mean, do you know to the tune of the amount of money they are standing trial for?
8.7 billion.
So if they remove 1.7, I'll be 1.5 out of 8.7. Like a Maso Imbo will say, oh, she kisses me.
Out of shock, I don't even know what to say. Okay, let's move down to Lagos with our cheering news. Lagos warns against use of unsafe water. The Lagos state government has moved to tighten oversight of water production and distribution, warning that unsafe water practices pose growing threats to public health and the environment across the state. The Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Water Regulatory Commission, Oluwabukola Adeyemo, issued the warning during a one-day community sensitization and public engagement with water service stakeholders in Ekpe. Adeyemo said the engagement was designed to address the dangers of untreated water, indiscriminate borehole drilling and poor hygiene practices, stressing that regulation and cooperation were now critical in a fast-growing megacity like Lagos. She explained that despite being surrounded by water, Lagosians could not consume most available water sources without proper treatment due to salt content, contaminants and heavy metals, noting that reliance on poorly sited boreholes had increased the risk of waterborne diseases. I call this a cheering news because Lagos State is always, always making sure that lives and properties of residents, is always safe. I can relate with what she said when she talked about boreholes, because when we're trying to dig a borehole or put a borehole in one property, it collapsed twice. The third time, it had too much lead. They had to collapse it again, and this was somewhere on the island. And I've noticed that most homes on the island, the lucky Aja access, the water is always. I don't know
which water they
I don't know where they get their water from. It's always brown.
There's always report of brown water.
It's always brown. You must, after digging your borehole, you have to get a water treatment in the house. That is a factory. To fetch pure water. I like this. I like what is happening, and people need to be more observant. They must be careful with the type of water they are drinking. And I like the fact that she said, we are surrounded by water, but we cannot
water everywhere.
water
everywhere. Single one to drink.
Not a single one to drink. Yeah. Well done, Lagos State government, as usual.
Yeah, then I think people just need to make conscious efforts to know what exactly they're consuming. But again, government is the regulator, and so government also needs to do more in terms of regulating potable water, and I think that's why government is also spending heavily on the water works. Remember, those the one commissioned by Mr. Governor last year, and the other one in Ajin, which is currently ongoing. Hopefully, maybe when that is also completed, it will bring a lot of ease, especially for Lagos residents. This next one,
I deliberately.
Let me adjust my glasses.
I deliberately left it for Abibola.
I'm just going to read it and perhaps not make a comment about it. Nigerians, now it's a report. Nigerians spent 1.5 trillion naira on beer. Others in 9 months.
People blessing chocolate.
Especially if you December.
1 point.
Major publicly listed
5
breweries in
trillion.
Nigeria recorded combined revenue of over 1.4 trillion naira from beer and other non-alcoholic beverages within the first 9 months of 2025, reflecting how much consumers spent on brewery products during the period under review. An examination of the unaudited financial statements of, I will not do Ipolo for you, of a particular brewery and others for the 9 months ended September 30, 2025, showed that the firms posted strong revenue growth, largely driven by beer sales. One of the companies, according to this report, the country's biggest brewer, if you know, you know, reported net revenue of 1.05 trillion naira, an increase from 710.87 billion recorded in the corresponding period of 2024. The company's cost of sales stood at 631.23 billion naira, resulting in a gross profit of 415.15 billion naira. Pay your tax. Yeah, the people government is looking for. After deducting selling and distribution expenses of 193.8 billion naira, administrative cost of 59.58 billion naira, finance expenses of 39.15 billion naira, and other charges, the company recorded a profit after tax of 85.51 billion naira. This marks a significant turnaround from a loss of 149.50 billion naira in 2024. Basic earnings per share rose to 200. Okay, leave it at this.
Abimbola,
Hey, wait though.
this was as of September
2025.
You know what happened
December
between September and December?
They have not done last quarter of 2025. And they posted that profit after tax.
Did you see the profit?
But here is even my own catch. In 2024, there was a loss. So what's it?
Are you telling me Nigeria is not getting better?
In 2025, look at the profit of one company from beer. It's okay.
85.51 billion naira.
Nigerians, go on song. I mean,
if not for the fact that
if not for the fact
I cannot.
So here's the deal.
I would have started the business.
No, wait now. But they also, they said from beer and other beverages. So other soft drinks are also part of this thing. But it's just that beer is the highest selling.
That was why they call them others.
Niger for life.
What?
Okay.
1.54 trillion
that's
naira.
Good business.
What?
That's good business. But the thing about it is, this business also has its ups and downs.
It
so
does.
now that there's a profit, let's say kudos to them. When you lose in another year, we would also be here to rub it on your back and say, hey, take from the profits of 2025 and shore up the loss of another year. But good one for these business owners. All right, we'll take a quick break. When the conversation returns, any of our guests who is ready, because we have about 3 conversations on the program today. Most definitely anyone who is here, we'll take that conversation after this break. Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's still the conversation here on Lagos Television. The first conversation we'll be having this morning is talking about infertility in women and what are some of the causes of this particular situation in women and what are the helps available to women. Thank God for technology. A lot of things have changed when it comes to issues around infertility. And of course, things are still evolving daily. There's still so many myths and facts also surrounding issues around infertility. And helping us to weigh in on the conversation this morning is Dr. Abiodun Hamzat, is the chairman and CEO, Pro-Bio Fertility Clinic, is also an embryologist. Thank you so much, Dr. Hamzat, for finding time to be with us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Right, when we say infertility in women, we understand that there are so many risks factors involved, and there's so many ways by which we can define infertility. But at what point can we say that a woman has fertility issues or is dealing with infertility?
Okay, thank you very much. You're doing a wonderful job here. I love your studio.
Thank you, sir.
Infertility, there has been a lot of misconceptions about fertility or infertility over the years, but eventually, people have to come together and agree, across the world. I want to specifically define infertility that crosses, different
across
borders.
Board, right.
Yes. So, when a woman, let me start from the point that every woman has come with the eggs they're going to use throughout their lifetime from the womb. But all these eggs are going to be latent. They will just be quiet there until the age of puberty, which is 13 years old. And from that 13 years, they start menstrual cycle. It goes on and on and on. The eggs will now start reducing. But by the time the woman is 35 years old, the eggs is about 80% depleted.
At 35?
At 35.
Okay, is that 35 more like the borderline?
It's the borderline.
Right.
So, so it now depends on when a woman got married. If a woman married now and she's 35 years old, 6 months is just enough to get worried, concerned about infertility.
Right.
But usually we agree on 1 year.
Okay.
Once a woman is less than 35 years and they've been meeting together with the husband and there's no conception, then they should be worried after 12 months. Okay,
that is before 35.
Before 35.
Right, but at 35,
6 months is the deadline. 6
months is the deadline. So once you get married or once you start trying, because again, we've gotten to the level where some people also feel that they really do not need to get married to have their children.
No, we see a lot of that.
Yes, we see a lot of that now. So, so marriage is not a yardstick here for some people, but then the age is a yardstick.
Yeah.
So once you are 35 and you start trying to have a child and you've tried unprotected sex for 6 months, it is time to start getting worried as to what exactly is happening.
And there's a reason for that as well.
I'm coming to that. So while you tell us why you really do not need to wait for a year once you cross 35, and once you start asking questions, is it just about the woman?
No. Surprisingly these days, or before now, it used to be 50-50% chances. Error will come 50% from the man, 50% from the woman. But shockingly, men now accounts for about 60% of the problem.
Wow.
Yeah. Because
but do they also accept that fact that men now have a higher rate?
So there's a way we do it now that they have to own up.
Okay.
A lot of time they agree. You see, men usually we have the ego.
Right.
And that ego is our testosterone. That's the way we are wired. We don't want to accept faults. Even when we do the wrong thing, we don't still want to accept. But once all the facts are put on the table before them, because it's after doing a lot of investigation for both parties, we now begin to explain. And for the men, why the faults is now becoming more in men is because, number one, men take alcohol, which sperm does not like.
Okay.
It discourages sperm production. It's the men that smoke most of the time. It's the men that do long distance driving, all these trailer drivings. It's the men that do all the hard work. So all these things sometimes affect infertility.
They have a negative effect.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Some men, they work in asbestos company that generates a lot of dust.
and
They inhale a lot of toxins, and this affects sperm production. And of course, a lot of sperm begins to get dead, and dead sperm can never fertilize egg.
Right. So as we have eggs depleting in women, so we also have dead sperm cells also in men. So it is either the man or the woman.
Exactly.
But there's some cases where after thorough investigations, you hear things like, but both of you are okay, but then it is still not coming. Take us through such experiences.
So that used to be the perception.
Okay.
Yes, but the truth now is that we used to call it infertility of unknown origin, of unknown cause. But we later found out that the fault is yet to be discovered.
Instead of unknown.
Instead of unknown.
Okay.
There's always a reason.
There would be an underlying factor why something is.
And let me explain briefly. You see, in our facilities, we show men their sperm on TV.
Okay.
For them to see.
You see the mobility, see the
mobility, they see the head. That a man is producing sperm doesn't mean all those sperms are excellent.
Right. No. Right.
Some sperms are naturally faulty, some don't have tail, some have big head, two head. And just the way in physical reality, the way men chooses women and women chooses men. Sperm too do select the eggs they want to work with.
Oh, wow. Is that natural law?
Yeah. No, in the IVF lab, that's what happened. Okay. Because we collect the eggs, collect the sperm, process it, put them side by side to say, okay, good sperm, go for good eggs. You realize that you may have about 20 eggs and millions of sperm cells, and only 15 will be fertilized. So what happened to the 5? They didn't just select, the sperm didn't select those eggs, or the eggs rejected the sperm cells.
Right.
So a lot of things, a lot of interplay of in this technology these days affects infertility.
Okay. There's also, correct me now if I'm wrong, I might not get it right. I know it's either primary or secondary infertility where a woman has had a child and then there's a delay for so long and that woman is not getting pregnant. Is that primary or secondary?
A woman has been pregnant at all in the past, now could not get pregnant again. Is secondary infertility. Okay,
so and then the woman has had a child.
Whether having a child or got pregnant and got it aborted, is still secondary.
It's still secondary.
That means the person has conceived before, but now could not get it. Not minding whether the baby was alive
or the baby is in here. Okay. So in such cases, what are some of the common factors responsible for that? For
secondary infertility. Okay. So a man could produce good sperm yesterday. It doesn't mean it's going to be good today. So that is there. We've seen cases where a couple have 3 children and they just agreed, let us hold on for some time until the economy is better. And now they waited for 4 years, 5 years. They're now ready. All the sperm disappears.
Wow.
It happens. And men, we are part of our habits. A man that was not drinking yesterday because there was no money now has money and now resort to drink alcohol every now and then. Could cause issue. A lot of men too takes a lot of medications, and some of these medications hamper production of sperm cells.
Okay.
There are some herbs that people didn't know that was going to cause problem for them.
Right.
They took it, and it kills their sperm at the end of the day.
Right.
Some men, they were doing proper job. Probably they lose their job, but the job they are now doing is a hard job. Like a trailer driver driving from Lagos to Kaduna, driving to Maiduguri, is heating up the testicles. And the work of the testicles is to produce the sperm and store it until the man is ready to discharge it.
Right.
Now, there's a reason why God has produced the testes to be out of the body. It's to breathe, not to maintain the same temperature with the body.
Right.
So a man sitting down on a leather seat or whatever seat for 12 long hours is roasting the testicles. So at the end of the day, you realize that a lot of sperm will be dead, or they're not even there again.
Right.
So that could cause that. For the woman, a woman could have infection not even treated at all, or not being treated properly over the years. That could cause blockage of the fallopian tubes.
Right.
Fallopian tubes, that's where the egg and the sperms are fertilized. And once the two are blocked, definitely there will be challenges.
Right.
A woman that got married at 28 or 30, there was no fibroid. But over the years in the marriage, now fibroid begins to grow. And that's where, surprisingly, where the fibroid grows, that's where the baby grows.
Will be. Right.
So one has to give way for one. So embryo cannot stay there. That could be another cause. Sometimes these days, some of our ladies, they just said, I want to continue to look good. I don't want baby now again. Let me take contraceptives. In my own marriage, the contraceptive alone delay us for 6 years.
Wow. So when you were ready?
Yeah. When we were ready, the baby was not ready.
Wow.
So the hormones will just be distorted. Right. Because the work of the contraceptive is to disorganize the hormones. Yeah. And these are the hormones that control menses, pregnancy, and ovulation. So once they are not balanced, then pregnancy will be postponed. Yeah,
but for the use of contraceptives, for some people, also it is, you know, a form of preventing pregnancy. So how necessary is it then for you not to pick just any type of contraceptive, but speak to experts who are able to take you through what works best for your body?
Yeah, that's why it is important. Self-medication is dangerous. It's even more dangerous than not taking any medication at all. Wow. Because one can self-medicate and take it wrongly. So it's advisable that if people want to conserve or preserve, you know, their fertility, it's better they see physicians, their doctors, who will now study them, run tests for them, ask questions, document their history, and recommend the appropriate contraceptive for that particular body. Okay. Surprisingly, some people who take certain contraceptives themselves, they will still get pregnant. Yes. Because that's not the right one for them.
For them.
Exactly.
You've talked in women. You've talked about untreated or not properly treated infections. Yeah. You've talked about contraceptive. Yeah, let's talk about blocked fallopian tubes. Let's talk about PCOS and endometriosis. Yeah. These conditions are also two conditions that a lot of women face, and oftentimes they cause delay, and you know, sometimes they're not even sure what exactly is going on with them, so cannot seek proper help. Take us through what PCOS and endometriosis are.
Like PCOS, you mentioned, the real meaning or the complete word is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And when we say syndrome is a combination of so many things together. So it affects infertility because instead of producing good quality fewer eggs, the woman now begins to produce inefficient small multiple eggs. Small multiple
and then inefficient
because they're not up to the size the sperm requires. Right. So of course there are other associated signs that, you know, that we observe when we see women like that. And when people come for fertility workup like that, we run investigations for them. Definitely there's going to be a lot of, you know, hormonal imbalances in them that has to be corrected. There are some main characteristics that they, you know, begin to observe in them, but it is treatable. Right. Though it may take time, and it's a special case in fertility management. So that's why fertility management is not one size fits all. Right. So it's individualized. That A got pregnant through a particular procedure, it doesn't mean another person is going to get pregnant through the same procedure. Right. Not long ago, just yesterday, one of our clients passed through CS to deliver a baby. She was 42. The day we did transfer for her, there were actually 2 on that day. The other lady was 29-year-old. That didn't get pregnant. The 42-year-old got pregnant. Wow. Wow. And we did transfer same time
for both of them.
For both of them.
Right.
Another case is a case of a woman of 42-year-old who was meant to come to Nigeria June last year. And January last year, we sent some medications to her in the UK to take like 90 days before coming to revive the eggs and stabilize her body so that when she comes around, you know, we now come for the treatment and we do the procedure. So she got the medication January ending. Guess what?
She got pregnant.
April, she got pregnant.
Okay, I mean, so treatment options, they vary, and you know, but then let's talk about people who also have preconditions of the kind of treatment they think will work for them. Before even coming to seek help from the doctors, perhaps because they've spoken with other people who've gone through several processes, and then they think, okay, I'm coming to you. For example, I'm a client, I'm coming to you, and once I come to you, I tell you, doctor, I don't want IUI, I want IVF. how do you deal with people based on the kind of treatment that you think should be best for them, or what kind of conditions do people present, and then you know the kind of treatment options? Because usually we know that the IVF should be the last option of treatment when it comes to fertility or infertility.
It's not the last option.
Okay.
There's also surrogacy after that.
Oh, okay, all right. There's surrogacy and adoption, I guess. So, but then, so how do you also convince your patients on the best line of treatment for them?
So the approach is when they come around for proper consultation, we profile them. Then we run investigations, blood work for both of them.
Okay.
We run ultrasound scan for them, and we examine the man's sperm as well. When all the results are ready, we discuss it.
Okay. So
from there, we will know whether they have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 problems. Then we begin to tackle it and we explain what they need. We've seen a lot of cases where clients will come and tell us, is IUI I wanted? For example, a woman of 40 years is telling us she wanted IUI.
Right.
I'm like, where is the hair coming from? So, because we know it's likely to fail, so we don't even make attempts to do that, using our own egg. But some of them will genuinely agree, okay, if there's option of donor eggs, I'm up for it. So, when people don't know, what they need is education.
Right.
So we try as much as possible to educate them. Even when they are going to some people, they don't even need any intervention other than just go home, have peace, take some medications, and
then
you'll
be fine. Yeah.
We've seen cases of a couple that have been there for 6 years, no baby, and by the time we examined the guy's sperm, it was low. What the guy needed was just medication for the guy's sperm
to be boosted.
They pay for the IVF, and in the course of treating him for 3 months, the wife got pregnant.
Oh, wow.
She lost the pregnancy, got pregnant again, naturally.
Wow. Did you refund for the
IVF? Of course.
All right, that was just an aside. Let's quickly also talk about sometimes some myths and how to correct some of those things. And I like the way, while you were talking earlier, you chipped in issues surrounding donor eggs. Yeah. Have we gotten to that level where here in Nigeria, people are beginning to accept that, on forced or on, just by explaining to them that, you know what, your eggs are depleted. We might not get results if we keep trying with your eggs. Can we go for donor eggs? Are people beginning to come to terms with that fact and that line of treatment?
Yes, I think I'm enjoying special grace of God because I was a victim of this same problem for 6 years, and after the 6 years, we waited for another 10 years.
Wow.
And my wife had to pass through 10 different IVF procedures that failed.
Wow.
So before we now resorted to surrogacy 2 times. So now I have 3.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So if I'm explaining to them,
you use your
there's no other better way for them to understand that these and these are the things that you need to do. And in Nigeria has one of the highest success rates in the world.
Of IVF?
IVF, yeah. Because, in all these advanced countries, most of the time, the embryo, because they regulate their population, they don't do more than 1 embryo transfer.
Yeah.
If it failed, they ask you to come back again.
Or just,
again. Why are you disturbing your life? Don't worry and all that. But in Nigeria, we love children so much. We are enjoying our population. It's our advantage. So, to the extent that a lot of people abroad, they prefer Nigeria to go and do it, and they get their results. Yeah. So, success rate is higher because egg donors are readily available here. People cannot go to the US just because they want to do IVF. If they would desire donor eggs, now where is it going to come from?
Yeah.
No one will travel to America to go and become a egg donor in America. No, that will not happen. And because of the medical legal issues arising there, so they don't do that. So people are beginning to come to terms with that.
Right.
And some of them will say, okay, try my egg. If I'm not producing, let me have a backup of donor egg. And a lot of Nigerians too are coming out voluntarily to say, okay, I want to help families.
Yeah, but let's also quickly clear that air where a lot of, at some point in time, I think there was a report, that went viral that young women, undergraduates were not donating, were egg donors. And, there was also that palpable fear that when it comes to, when they are also ready to start raising a family, the eggs might not be there. How does this work?
No, it doesn't work that way. Like I said earlier, there are certain number of eggs every woman has come to this world with.
Right.
So whether a woman gets pregnant every month or does not get pregnant, average of 20 eggs will be wasted.
She will shed it.
She will shed it.
Okay.
She will shed it. So it doesn't matter as long as the donor we are talking about did not get up to 37, 38 before deciding to have before deciding to have their own baby.
A baby. Okay.
So it doesn't matter, and there are regulations, there are conditions around which we recruit egg donors.
Okay.
We always prefer voluntary donors
than coercing people to do it.
No, we don't need to coerce.
Right.
People come voluntarily, and they have to give us reasons why they prefer to donate, to help people.
Do they get paid?
Yeah, they get remunerated.
Remunerated, okay.
But money is not really the issue. We have seen people coming forward and say, I'm very fertile. I want to carry pregnancy
instead of wasting my eggs.
Yes, even I want to even help people carry their baby.
To be surrogates.
To be surrogates, and they do it willingly. Some people from our diaspora people, sometimes they even bring people they know that they really want to help.
Right.
And say, okay, get pregnant for me, I'm going to get visa for you, come down,
and then
give birth for me.
Baby.
Some of our actresses, that was what they did.
Have we had issues, between surrogates and, the intending parent, which sometimes have been ugly? Have we had issues?
There were issues years back, but there are better controls now because there's no interface.
Okay. Yeah. You don't get to meet at every
You don't get to
point.
meet them.
Okay.
So the IVF clinic, or there are some agents that are specifically doing that on behalf of
the intending parents.
So they don't get to know because people can resort to blackmail.
Right.
And people may even begin to make unnecessary demands
afterwards.
And say, after I know these people, they are not in Nigeria, this. So
you don't even meet at all.
We don't meet at all. There's no
agreements are made.
Lawyer is involved. Everybody is sorted. It's not your egg. You're just a carrier. Even when DNA is done, you have nothing in common with the pregnancy you carry.
Child. Okay. So for as we wrap up this conversation this morning, what's the future of infertility treatment in Nigeria? It looks like it is looking good for practitioners. What's the future?
No, and I can tell you for free, it's looking good.
It's looking good.
In Nigeria, Lagos State is the best when it comes to IVF.
Okay.
We have the highest number of IVF centers. Lagos regulate and over-regulate us.
Okay.
So you can't do anyhow.
Right.
You do anyhow, you see anyhow.
You see anyhow.
You see anyhow. So they monitor us, they regulate what we do, and we document every procedure. Lagos State is serious about that, and they don't want to hear women die because they want to give birth.
Yeah, at some point in time, there was also this regulation that you cannot transfer more than 2 or 3 eggs. What's the position at the moment?
Maximum 2.
Maximum 2. So if you do 3,
it's not proper. It's not ideal. It's not just proper.
Right.
What Lagos State government has been able to do is that they approach the doyen of IVF in Nigeria.
Right.
Put them together, 5 of them, put them together to regulate IVF in Lagos State.
Right, so there's that committee.
And they are doing it wonderfully well.
Right, so the standard is you transfer 2. At least if the 2 don't survive, 1 should survive, of the 2.
If this doesn't survive at all, there must be reasons which has to be investigated further. So what Lagos State government do, those regulatory authorities, they call them FMA, Earth Facility Monitoring.
Right.
So they inspect facility center before you even set up at all.
Right.
They check your location, if it's going to support success or not. And they check your personnel. Are they qualified? Do they have requisite education to do it?
Right.
And they look at so many things before they give approval to say, okay, do it. And that doesn't mean it is all.
Right.
From time to time,
they also check
They check like 2-3 times a year. They pay you on scheduled visits.
Right.
And ask questions.
Dr. Hamzat, how expensive or affordable is infertility treatment in Nigeria?
So
I'm talking about ARTs.
So there's a difference between expensive or affordable.
What's the difference?
Expensive is subjective.
Right.
It depends on who is saying it.
Affordability is what?
Affordability is what
it's just
matters.
okay.
It's just okay. So what happens is that, and when you say something is expensive, you begin to ask, compared to what?
Okay.
Compared to US, compared to Canada, or compared to not having baby? Which one?
Right.
So you have to decide. But to strictly answer that, in the United States, it costs between $25,000 to $35,000 to do a single procedure of IVF.
Right.
The least IVF in Nigeria, 4-5 million, they get it done.
They get it done. Right.
Maximum 7. There's no IVF in Nigeria that is up to 8 million.
Okay, so we over between 5 and 7
Between
million.
5 and 7. And people come from West African countries.
Yeah, to
Nigeria is actually a destination.
So if you pay 5 million and it fails, are you going to pay another 5 million?
So it depends. So it depends.
Okay.
So what happens is that if the woman is less than 35 or 35 and 36, and she's able to use her own egg,
Okay.
she has good egg reserve, and let's assume that we're able to get like 15 eggs, and we have about 10 good embryos,
Okay.
and we transfer like 2,
Right.
definitely she will have leftover.
Left.
So
right.
if that one failed, she has backup.
Okay.
So she could just come back. It's not as if she's going to start all over again.
Right. So you pick it up from there
And she
probably
just pay little money to
difference.
prepare
Okay.
our body for another transfer.
Right.
So it's not absolute that you have to pay like that. No,
Okay.
no. Second transfer is even less than half of the first transfer.
All right. Okay. I'm sure we've been able to answer some of your worries and questions
thank
with
you
Dr.
very much.
Hamzat this morning. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Abiodun
you for having
Hamzat
me.
is the chairman and CEO Probio Fertility Clinic. Is also an embryologist. Thank you again
Thank you
for
very
finding
much.
time to be with us on the program today.
Thank you.
So from this conversation this morning, there's really no reason why any woman should not give birth. If you have the money, if you have the if you're able to seek expert opinion, and if you're able to come in contact with the right specialist, most definitely you'll carry your own child. We'll take a quick break. When the conversation returns, I am looking at Adebimpe right now. Adebimpe. Should I tell our viewers what you're doing? Adebimpe. Okay, we have one more conversation on this side. Don't worry, relax. We have one more conversation on this side before we cross over to you. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.